Well, one business is tailoring its business cards with jaw-dropping one-liners, trying to reach the dating Wall Street crowd. Here to tell us all about it is Lauren Good. You wrote about this today. I love these lines that are in there, these pickup lines.
There's some good ones in there.
Your favorite, you got to start this by rattling off a few of these.
My favorite, personally, is "You just made my stock rise."
Hello.
I gotta go there. My credit rating is still AAA, of course, very relevant right now. Let's talk about a merger. I'm bullish on us.
Yeah,
I make a great long-term investment. There's another one about Ben Bernanke being on someone's speed dial. I don't know if
Ben Bernanke and dating, that doesn't sort of work for me.
Right.
But I'm not on Wall Street, so
right, exactly.
Now, tell us about who's the company that's making these business. They're putting these little sayings on business cards that people hand out ostensibly in Wall Street bars.
Right. Well, it's a relatively new dating site called Cheeked. They launched
it. I'm looking at one of them right now.
That's right.
This is your favorite.
You just made my stock rise. There we go. That's quite fitting.
I guess that's more fitting for a man to give out. Just to point it out.
Right. So they launched about a year ago. They launched in May of 2010. They are, in a sense, a traditional dating site, except it's sort of a dating website in reverse. They have an analog product, a physical card that they hand to people.
Okay.
And then it's about this size,
okay.
And then it directs you to a dating profile online. So the idea is that we're not just about digital introductions. We're about real face-to-face introductions. You hand someone a card that you may find interesting, and then you sort of slip away before they have a chance to really react. And then if they're interested in you, they can go to the code on the card and be directed to your online dating profile. So it's kind of a blend of the physical and the digital in terms of, a dating site.
And safer, too. I mean, I think if you are at least more appealing in a bar setting, you don't have to sort of sit there and have a conversation if you're not interested. But if you are, you could
follow up, or you could simply ignore it, just like you would a business card.
But what if you were, since you're our tech guru, Lauren, what if you were really, really interested and someone gives you that card? I guess you could go on one of your smartphones and immediately, you could actually sort of do the transaction right there on the spot.
You could actually. You could right now navigate to Cheek's website where you can find a dating profile of this person. The company is planning on working on an iPhone application that would make it sort of more friendly in terms of mobile. But I think what's really interesting is right now, this company is not unaware of everything that's been going on in the markets lately, and so it's part gimmick, part strategy. They're really looking to sort of capitalize on all the market turmoil right now and say, well, how can we get people with these Wall Street one-liners?
Would it work on you? I don't know. I have to ask. Would it work if somebody had? What do you think?
Probably not. I think
a lot of
these are very, very bold statements. I think if someone was a little bit more self-deprecating, perhaps, than like, "Hey, your jet or mine."
You're aspirational. That's what you're one of the ones.
I don't know about that, but actually, Wendy, I did make one card for you for lunch break. I'm going to ask Cheeked if they could possibly draw that one up for you. It's just a sample right now.
You know what? I think this is going to have to become a T-shirt soon. It says, "Tune in to lunch break for some afternoon delight."
That's the one I crafted for you.
You missed your calling. You totally missed your calling. This is great. I'm definitely keeping this because, So I want to go back. What are the costs of something like this? Is it expensive to participate in this?
No, it's relatively inexpensive. It's only $35 for a deck of 50 cards, but you also have to pay for a monthly subscription in order to maintain a profile on the site. It's low cost. It also means it's a relatively low margin business right now for these guys. It's a very small company. That's not to say that dating websites aren't, in fact, a huge business, both in terms of subscription revenues and in terms of the fact that lots of people on these dating websites are entering very, very personal information, and that can be very useful to dating websites in terms of targeted advertising, in terms of potentially selling the data, putting out surveys on the data, that sort of thing. But it's interesting. So there's an Apple fanboy dating website called Cupertino. I don't know if you've heard of this.
I have not.
Yeah, so it's a website that's basically just for people that love Apple products, and I wrote about it about a year ago, and I spoke with an online dating consultant at the time who had some really interesting, anecdotes and bits of information about these kinds of sites. And the one thing that he said was that there are two challenges to something like this. One is if it's a very niche dating website, your reach might not be as broad.
No Android users need apply, right?
Right, exactly. So you're really limiting yourself in terms of your kind of reach. So if this company were, let's say, just to do Wall Street, which they're not, but if they were, it'd be very limiting. The other thing is, too, is that summer months are not an especially good time for dating websites.
Because we're out actually doing things.
We're doing things. We're out, and also, I mean, people. If you think about it, people tend to get like loneliest, or November to February, and that's when dating websites see this uptick of users.
Well, that's when we're going to need these cards.
Right, exactly. That's when you're going to see people exchanging the cheeked cards.
All right, Lauren Good with amazing dating advice for Wall Street. Thanks for being here. Be sure to watch her soon at Digits. Digits 1 o'clock during the week. All right, thanks so much, Lauren.